that we use for our webinar presentations called shoecompany.com. There are some factors that you need to take into consideration when researching for and eventually selecting your keywords. In the earlier days of search engine optimization, it was very possible to select whatever keywords you wanted to show up for in a search engine, and with a little work, you could make that happen. However, nowadays, search engines such as Google, Yahoo, MSN, Ask.com, and others have vastly improved their search algorithms and have also grown up a lot over the last 10 years or so. Nowadays, you need to do a lot of good, hard work without trying to deceive or find loopholes in the system to get your website pages ranked higher. Today, there are 5 separate factors that you need to take into consideration when researching, selecting, and ultimately using your keywords for the pages on your site. Let's take a look at the 5 factors that you should be aware of during your keyword research and selection process. The first one is website theme, and website theme is basically another way of asking, what is my website about? It's actually quite interesting and sometimes surprising to hear or read about responses to this question, even though it seems like a no-brainer. Think about the theme on your website first and foremost. Next, website goals allows you to ask, what is the purpose of my website? Or, what is the ultimate goal of my website? What you ultimately want the visitors of your website to do will impact what keywords you wind up selecting. Third, you will want to take your website's audience into account as well. Remember that, for the most part, you will be writing content that will be read by the visitors to your website, so keep your potential audience in mind. For example, if your website sells Justin Timberlake ringtones, you're going to want to use a different language to describe your products or services than you would if your website provided 401k plan consulting services. Always keep in mind who you're speaking to and who you're trying to advertise to. Next, consider the broadness of your keywords as well. How broad or how narrow your keywords are can make all of the difference between poor or regular traffic to your website and good quality traffic to your website that will hopefully buy something from your site or fill out a contact form. And finally, consider the traffic to your website as a whole. Are you speaking to an audience of 50 or an audience of 50,000? Is the traffic to your website going to be mainly males or females? Will they be males ages 18 to 25, or are you going to be speaking to visitors ages 60 and up? Always be aware of the type of traffic your website receives, and keep the other 4 factors in your mind when researching and selecting your keywords. First, let's talk about the theme of your website. You will want to carefully consider the theme of your website and the theme of the page that you're selecting keywords for. This slide is a good example of what we're talking about. Our imaginary company, shoecompany.com, happens to sell thousands of different types, styles, and sizes of shoes at discount prices. However, this particular page on the shoecompany.com website is specifically for the Pro-Tech Light Race Day sneaker. Keywords like discount shoes and wholesale shoes shouldn't be used on this particular page. Those types of keywords should be saved for the pages on your site that are more top level in nature, like your home page or a top level category page. A page this particular and specific requires particular and specific keywords, such as red jogging sneakers and even Pro-Tech running sneakers. So during your keyword research process, it's okay to collect all of the different keywords that you'll be using for all of the pages on your site. But before you start to use them, select the appropriate keywords from your keyword selection for each individual page. Depending on the size of your website, this can easily turn into a daunting task, but it's critical that you spend whatever time that you can possibly spend on these steps if you're looking to improve your organic search engine rankings. Think about the ultimate purpose of your website and think about what it is that you want the visitors on your website to ultimately do. This is just one example of a goal on our shoecompany.com e-commerce website, which is of course to sell items. You may have several goals or several different things that your visitors can do while on your website, but when you're considering keywords, all of the goals on your website should add up to your ultimate goal. If, like our mock company that we've shown so far, you sell a wide variety of shoes at discount prices, think about what keywords you would want the pages of your website to appear for in search results. Using words like discount, wholesale, and bargain could help your keywords and your ultimate goal, which in our case would be to sell shoes at discount or wholesale prices. Keep in mind that each website is different, so what may work well for one of your competitors may not necessarily work well for you. The best thing to do to avoid copying a competitor of yours is just to concentrate on your website's goals and what you're looking for the visitors of your website to do, and you'll be fine. Next, consider the nature of your business when you're thinking about your target audience. For example, if you own a local business such as a movie theater, a possible keyword can be something simple and informative, such as St. Louis Movie Theater, which would only be relevant to your location and possibly the closest surrounding cities. If your website has more of a state-level audience, such as a statewide organization or a professional sports team in the state of Missouri, keywords like Missouri football team or Missouri Energy Conservation Project could work very well for you. However, let's say that your audience is national or even international. Using those two words, national or international, in your keywords will help in bringing the audience that you're looking for. National retail company or international stock exchange are two examples of keywords matching your targeting options. But be careful with your local targeting. As you saw in our example, the city of St. Louis borders the state of Illinois, so what may apply to Missouri may not be applicable to Illinois, even